Speaking frankly, I did walk into 1917 almost equal parts excited and trepidatious. On the one side, the film nerd side of me could not wait to see a Sam Mendes film lensed by the Roger Deakins that was a series of these really long oneers all strung together to look like one massive take. The film school nerd side of me just loves that kind of stuff because technically it is a marvel to behold and it thrills me. On the other side, it was that exact same thrill that made me more than just a little bit nervous. After all, this was a war film and a genre that deserved more respect than the kind of feelings that I oftentimes feel just when I'm watching a popcorn fun action flick. The subject just deserves more respect than that. With that said, I am very happy to report that there were indeed large sections of the film that did carry the weightiness and gravity that they ought to. In its best moments, the literal real-time approach infused this film with this heightened reality, and it was powerful to behold. Something happens when we're unable to cut away from the brutality of the moment, enduring bullets whizzing by us or someone slowly, painfully bleeding to death. We're just there, unable, like these soldiers, to escape the reality of these terrifying moments, and it's powerful. And the moments where it did work totally showcased the value of the long take approach that Sam Mendes took on this film. An approach that was, as I forecasted, a marvel to behold. I mean, just in the first few minutes, you could already see the behind-the-scenes team working their tails off to create what I can only describe as these really nuanced, intricate, evolving, ever-changing portraits. Ones that were beautiful to behold, yes, but also just so naturally allowed things to unfold and let me live and breathe in those spaces. Because they'd limited their cinematic vocabulary, they had to figure out really interesting and unique and exciting ways to tell their story without cutting to a wide shot here or a close-up there. And they did this through this painstakingly intricate blocking and staging. Though I didn't feel it as a viewer, which indeed was a compliment, I did know it as a filmmaker that they had to build every single set to the precise dimensions required for those specific lines and movements, allowing the action to unfold in this seemingly natural way, while also adding layers of nuance and meaning. It was no accident, for example, that in the first 45-minute shot, the characters slowly descended into this deeper and darker trench. It just perfectly summed up what exactly this journey would be like for the characters over the duration of the story, while also just unfolding in a very natural way. And for me, those were the moments that really did sing. The moments that I was actually allowed to forget that this was all meant to look like one long, impressive shot, and just allowed me to experience the story. And equally integral to the success of those best moments were the excellent performances from this film's two leads, Dean Charles Champman and George MacKay. Though I had seen both of them in smaller roles in other projects on television and in film, just the fact that they completely gave themselves to these roles and transformed into these men, or rather these boys, just allowed me to experience what it would have been like to go on this mission and try to accomplish this seemingly impossible task. And because of all the aforementioned elements, I did indeed like this film. To spoil things, it will indeed receive a heart from yours truly. Unfortunately, Sam Mendes' chosen approach, as much as it drew me in, also did distract me quite a few times throughout the film. And this was for two reasons. One, there were a lot of moments, probably half this film, that really did not need to be, in fact, should not have been covered with the single long take. It just didn't add anything to the moment, and in fact, it took a lot away. In those numerous moments, it would have absolutely been better if Sam Mendes had been able to let go of the gimmick he had committed to just for a few minutes, trusting that there are things far more important than being known as yet another film that looked like it was all one shot. And connected to that, but really far more important, this mission, Sam Mendes' mission to make this film look like it was this one long take that was just so impressive and so cool, that mission didn't necessarily gel, like I feared, all that much with this film's subject matter, which should have been taken very seriously throughout. When the camera danced about, wowing me with its technical achievement, or the music started to pound and thump in a manner very similar to your run-of-the-mill popcorn action flick, I couldn't help but feel like the filmmakers were lessening the gravity of the narrative that was unfolding on screen. And finally, when it came to the film's plot, the actual events that occurred in it, 1917 is about as cookie cutter as they come, which really didn't surprise me a whole lot. And reading and listening to behind-the-scenes interviews with Sam Mendes before walking into the film, he often talked about how he conceived of this one-shot notion before actually coming up with the specific details of the plot. But in watching this film, you will see unfold before you something very similar to pretty much every other war film out there. Scenes of light banter between soldiers before all hell breaks loose. Shocking death scenes. Quiet moments between soldiers and civilians. Up close and personal, brutal struggles to the death. Quiet, poignant moments where characters sing and soldiers reflect on loved ones back home. And again, like we've been talking about, all of those moments were indeed lensed in a way that did give to them some freshness and nuance. But ultimately, that combination wasn't quite enough for me to forget that what I was watching has been done dozens of times before. So, at the end of the day, even while Sam Mendes and Roger Deakins did succeed at creating this technical marvel with 1917, a lot of those creative decisions actually ended up tripping up better storytelling decisions. And for all these reasons, I will give the film a 3.5 out of 5 and a heart. I would still love to know what you guys thought of the film though, so comment below and let me know. And finally, please do subscribe. I'm going to continue to review films and television on this channel, and I would love for you to stay up to date on all of those things. But for now, I'm Chris Hartwell. This is The Heartbeat. Thank you for joining me.